Bitcoin made a nice reaction from the weekly fair value gap again. Nasdaq took out all-time high, but what happens now? EURUSD made a nice reaction from the demand zone I have showed you earlier. Hi everybody, and warmly welcome to this week's market outlook, where we're gonna have a look at Bitcoin, Nasdaq and EURUSD, and of course look at the macro view in the beginning. My name is Hasse. I've been trading and investing for over 8 years. This is the place where we leave out the emotions and focus on logics. Let's start with the news calendar. And we have non-farm employment change on Thursday. The most important news for the week are hands down the employment numbers. We have them on Wednesday, 2:15. This is Swedish time. And then we have 2:30 on Thursday. And remember, Friday is a bank holiday. And also we have Powell's speech at 3:30 Swedish time, which is the opening time of the US market open. And expect a lot of volatility this week because of these news. And also it's a new month. There is often more volatility in the beginning of the month. If we have a look at the earnings calendar, nothing special here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, let's see here, Thursday, Friday. Nothing special this week. And let's see the Fear and Greed Index. This is for S&P 500. We were down on neutral and we are heading up to extreme greed step by step. And this is what I've been telling you the last weeks. We were down on extreme fear and most probably we are going up to extreme greed. This is how the markets are moving in general, going from extreme greed to extreme fear, from extreme fear to extreme greed, and on repeat, on and on again. We are most probably heading to extreme greed step by step. We are seeing corrections on the way and we are seeing impulsive moves on the way. And the crypto Fear and Greed Index, we are in neutral. There is a lot of space to go up to extreme greed, and I think we will go up to extreme greed, which also means that the Bitcoin price most probably will reach higher levels like 115, 120, 130, etc. We can't lock our minds to a specific target. We always have to be adaptive. And the Bitcoin liquidation index, no big liquidations the latest days. If we check the daily exchange volume, we are just hovering around these levels. We need to break above this high, create higher highs, higher lows here in order to increase the probability that Bitcoin will reach even higher levels. If we see Bitcoin break all-time high and 120K, etc., and we're not seeing the volume picking up, that is a clear warning sign in the market. That means we are most probably building up the top. Building the top doesn't mean we are setting the top in one candle exactly when we see that. It's like building a bottom. There is a transition phase. To build a top in the market can take a few months. So remember that. And if we check the Bitcoin chart here, we can see I have marked out this weekly fair value gap. And if we just check in the weekly chart, you can see this is a weekly fair value gap. These two, we touched it here, reacted. We went down again, took out the liquidity below this low, and reacted beautifully. And what I like here is that we reacted and we tried to go down and then the price broke up above this high. This is a sign of strength for me, and it increases the probability that we are not going to break this low before reaching these highs and this target level. So in my opinion, every down move in Bitcoin is an opportunity to aim for even higher levels. And we can just remove this high. Of course, we can check lower time frames here also. And we can see we have a demand zone here. We have a fair value gap here. That doesn't mean that we need to go down there. We have also a lot of liquidity like this. In order to build a strong uptrend, you often want the price to take out liquidity and then go up. For example, in this case, if we just take out like the trend line liquidity here, it can look like something like this. This doesn't mean that we need to do that. If we do that, then we have better probabilities to look for an entry to even higher levels. That is basically it about Bitcoin. Let's head into Nasdaq. And Nasdaq took out this low and the liquidity down here and we went up. And I've been telling you that this is most probably a manipulation and we are heading into all-time highs and even higher levels. If we check the daily chart, you can see a lot of green candles in a row. And it's not healthy to go up day after day like this. To get better risk to reward in your trades, you often want the price to come down to, for example, a daily fair value gap like this, or in lower time frame, generate some liquidity, consolidate like this. For example, let's say the price consolidates like this, generates a lot of liquidity like a trend line, takes out the trend line and then goes up. This is what we prefer when we see a strong move like this. You can see, for example, here we go up a lot, goes down, consolidates, takes out liquidity below these lows, and then starts to go up again. In the 1 hour chart, there's a gap here, so it would be interesting if we could reach that. That is a point of interest, and we have a big demand zone here. So if we can reach those levels, then we are in discount to look for longs. That doesn't mean that we have to go to these levels. What I'm telling you is if we reach those levels, it is interesting to look for longs. EURUSD was down into this demand zone. I told you I'm looking for higher levels from this zone, and we took out the high and even higher levels. What we can aim for right now is, for example, this high here. This doesn't mean that we will go up in one daily candle to this level, step by step, but this is my bias to aim for even higher levels. And every down move in EURUSD to a fair value gap or a demand zone in lower time frame is an opportunity, in my opinion, to aim for that target. That was basically a short overview of the market, and I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment below the video, and see you on the next Market Outlook.